Do you think is Rahul conceding defeat in Bihar?
See, I would say that, one thing is very clear that, if you have proof of all of this, the most competent authority is the Election Commission. I think, the Congress has made vote chori allegations. It was at one point of time an issue which was talked about a lot in Bihar, but I don't see, any imprint of it right now as we speak at night before the first phase of election. And I think, until unless it gets ratified either in the court or, they are able to convince the Election Commission that a vote chori has taken place, I don't think that these kind of, press conferences are going to find a lot of traction on the ground. Because the time has come that a lot of allegations have been made, but even in the SIR case, the Election Commission went on to say in several appeals or several dates that not one single case has been filed before it by the Congress party, or not one single dispute has been raised before it. So because if you raise a dispute, then people would want to know what exactly Election Commission, how it has clarified that particular thing. And if Election Commission you feel is hoodwinking or in cahoots with the BJP, then you have the court. So I think there's a process which will nail within courts easy lies. But if you keep on hurling allegations without substantiating it, like either in appealing with the EC or taking it to the court, I don't think it's going to find much traction.
Manish, what's your take on this? Why has this press conference taken place?
Namaskar to you and to my co-panelists Smita ji and all the people, Brajesh ji. See, I feel very sorry. I must tell you, a couple of days back, couple of opinion polls have also come. They've seen Congress party having seats of only 5 seats to 6 seats. So it's a mindset of a very defeatist kind of a mindset. And sometimes I find it very funny, to be honest. I've never seen a leader of opposition, especially in India. He works like a Apple CEO. I was reminded of those press conferences as Steve Jobs, making those presentations. He's completely cut from the common man of this country, completely bereft of ideas as to what's happening in this country, how people respond to common cues of, and what are the problems of people. He lives in his own world, and I think Rijuji was talking absolutely bang on when he said that there is a team of people who feeds him something, makes nice presentation. He loves to do that. He should have joined corporate. Probably, I don't know for sure, that probably he would have done well. And he should also know the history of Congress party. Which party is talking about rigging elections? 1970s, 1980s, everybody in Bihar and UP knows what was booth capturing, thanks to Congress party. Everybody knew what happens, thanks to EVM, that later on with some of the good election commissioners who came, and then all these things kind of a racket actually stopped. So, and look at what happened in Jammu and Kashmir in 1982, infamous. Who was at the helm of this entire thing? It was Congress party. So, they talking, it's pot calling the kettle black. That is what I can say. And as many of the commentators have said, if you have any iota of proof, please go to the court. He's not ready to go to the court. And I'm sure RJD would be very miffed with what he has done, because that sends a message to the entire Bihar that look, Gadbandhan is losing, and their supporters are going to sit at home because of this, because they know that anyway they are going to lose this election.
Suleiman, why was this press conference actually required a day before the polling, and that too on Haryana, which had no bearing on the Bihar election, and your entire party brass is in the middle of it and campaigning in the state?
It was required. The campaign for the first phase was over. So I think it's very inappropriate question. A press conference can anytime happen, whenever the data is ready, whenever we can show that this vote theft or vote dacoity has happened, as a opposition leader or opposition party, we can do the press conference. It's not about the timing. It's about what is the content which has been exhibited in that press conference. Now, I heard the BJP spokesperson and the other person on your panel, Mr. Pandey. I'm really surprised with the way the points which have been raised by Mr. Rahul Gandhi have been countered. It's completely out of the mind that a Bharatiya Janata Party vice chairman of the Zilla Parishad had 66 voters registered in his home address in Haryana. How can this happen? 93,000 people with address 0, 25 lakh suspicious entries, 5 lakh suspicious voters. A Brazilian model has 22 votes. Now, are these not glaring? As far as the court is concerned, going to the court is concerned, I think then what should we do? That election commission should be dismantled, CAG, CAT should be dismantled, all authorities should be dismantled, and then only Supreme Court should be given the supreme powers to run the government. The problem is
What a statement.
the manipulation of this regime and the mindset of this ideology is so they manipulate in such a manner that they cover up all their frauds and present facts and documents in the court which favor them. I completely 100% believe in what Rahul Gandhi ji has done previous conference and today's conference, because not for the reason that he is my leader. I have to follow him anyhow because the facts are so glaring true that I have to follow him. Secondly, I have seen this, Karthik, I have told you in a previous debate also, in Rampur Assembly constituency on 5th of December 2022, I have seen election commission doing dacoity of votes when thousands of voters were not allowed to vote. And BJP for the first time won that election. That was the dacoity of Election Commission of India to make BJP win that election. So Election Commission has become a puppet of BJP. Nothing can happen until and unless this government is voted out to power or thrown away by the public. Through elections and democratic
Just 5 seconds. Karthikeyan, just 5
Okay,
seconds.
only clarification, regime is a word used for a system of government which has not been elected by people. So I think we should refrain from using the word regime. It's an elected government, sir. Yes, Manish.
It's
Suleiman ji,
an
I think
elected
almost
government.
said that.
By theft, it's actually a regime now. No authority can do
Anyway,
anything.
I'm not going to get into the debate. It's an elected government. Anyway, I'm not. You know, I'm right.
See,
You know I'm right.
that's what Soros says.
You know I'm right. It's okay.
Karthikeyan ji, that's
that.
what is the favorite word of George Soros. So they would obviously use a regime word because that's what they have tried to do it, and they did it in Bangladesh.
Okay, Manish, let me two people are very quietly waiting. Sorry, Manish, Smita is also waiting. Smita has not got the chance to speak. Ravi has also not got the chance to speak. Smita, what's your take? Why is this? I was very surprised. I thought maybe this press conference would be primarily on Bihar, and it took me back to Haryana. Everyone knows that it was a very close election. Congress. A lot of people say the Congress lost it by their own mistakes. They were supposed to win the election. BJP just stole it through organizational heft, nothing else. But do you think it will have an impact on Bihar election? I want my conversation around Bihar. Will it have any impact? Because it's coming down to vote chori. The issue of SIR exercise, as EC officials are in West Bengal. The matter has gone to court. DMK is opposing it. TVK is opposing it. There's a Mahabalipuram session which is taking place. So my question is broader in nature. Do you think by doing this press conference, does it become part of a mainstream narrative? Or what is your assessment? Why was this press conference organized?
I think it was organized because a sense of panic seems to be setting in. Yesterday, exactly 1 week after their manifesto was announced, in much detail actually, in much more detail than the NDA manifesto, still Tejasvi Yadav ji had to come on record yesterday on the last day of the campaign to say that the Mai Bahin Man Yojana amount, which was actually originally meant to be a monthly support for eligible women, will be now transferred in one go on the day of Makar Sankranti. And then some more sops for farmers like free irrigation, irrigation purpose, power supply, etc. And today, 1 year after the elections, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who had been, sort of talking about an H-bomb for a few months now, suddenly comes out in the morning to say that his H-bomb is now ready to detonate and he is going to bring it out. Now, specifically on the merits of the allegations or the points that he has raised,